Okay, hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Talk about an ominous live message. What do you mean? Just saying why. Just feels so, like, normal, not ominous in the slightest. I don't know what you're talking about, Tracy, but also welcome, welcome in. How's your day been going? How's your week been? How's it hanging? Let me pull the YouTube up and make sure everything's looking good there. Oh, I'm getting warnings. Our typical YouTube time. Uh, but yeah, no, how's it going? Also, starting soon screen. Yeah. Um, I don't know if you were here when we talked about it, but I actually made that like forever and a half ago, and only I used it for like I think like the first month or two I was streaming. And then I was like, well, if I'm here, I might as well just hit start streaming and then just start streaming. I don't need to wait for anything else to happen or anything like that. But I was like, I could just like hit the starting soon screen and then start the ads playing, so then we don't have to worry about them starting like part way through. So that's kind of what I figured would be going on. Doing well. It's finally Pride Month. Woohoo! Yes, it is finally Pride Month. Happy Pride Month, everyone. Oh my gosh, it's Pride Month. It's here. It's here. Oh my god. I was just thinking of the Christmas is only a week away meme. Mm-mm-mm-mm. But yes, yes, it is here. So that's exciting. Um, so yeah, I was like, but I figured like we could sort of like instead of like getting like the ads starting in like a few minutes into the stream, I was like, I could just click start playing ads while we get the starting soon screen button going. I mean, starting screen soon going. So I'm like, that way no one misses anything. So I was like, let's start doing that again. So I had like spend like a little while looking for it because I couldn't remember like where I put it because with everything being moved over to my new computer, I was like, which flash drive or external hard drive is it on? So there's a lot of plugging things into my computer, looking them up in the file explorer and being like, okay, well, nope, not this one. Okay, nope, not this one. Oh, not this one. Oh, finally found it. So yeah, I think when was the last time we used it? I think it was like, was it actually during the last Why Not Both stream? I think it was. I think it was. I'm pretty sure. 90% sure. But yes, everything's also going good here. I have been very, very, very busy this week. And I want to be very busy this upcoming week. Not obviously not only because of, like streams and stuff like that, but also because I've been getting ready for the final dungeon in my D&D campaign. Because like there was a lot of like talk from my group of like, well, not really a lot of talk, but I think I've talked about it before on here, where it's like, yeah, no, like it's been building up to like this huge moment in my D&D campaign for such a long time, but it's not even like the end yet, so like it's gonna be like crazy when it gets after this. But then I realized they're already like the villain that they're trying to take down right now. They are so jazzed to do it. Like literally the entire last session that we did was just them talking about different ways to do it and like trying to make plans for this fight. So I'm like, we spent like the last year building up to this antagonist, like the final fight against him, like yada yada yada. I'm like, maybe we just end it here. Like, I feel like it's not going to get more satisfying than beating this guy because they hate this antagonist with like all of their hearts. Like, they want nothing more than to fight and murder this person. So I'm like, I don't know if it's going to get like better than this. So I was like, you know what? Let's start putting together like the final dungeon because like my campaign doesn't like do too many like actual dungeoning with these dragons. But I was like, there's like usually like one every like, couple of sessions, like one maybe every like 10, 11 sessions, that kind of thing. So I was like, you know what? We're just going to end this off with a bang. I'm going to make the biggest dungeon like possible. And it's going to be like a huge like kind of going down like memory lane-esque thing, like really show like, yeah, though this is the finale kind of thing. Because it's going to be a dungeon that like takes from their memories and builds like its own thing out of those memories. So it's going to be a lot of like going through like essentially like the greatest hits of the campaign, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I've been having so much fun getting it ready, and I feel like I'm not even remotely halfway close to being done with it because I'm like splitting it off into like there have kind of been like 9-ish sort of arcs that have happened through the campaign, so I need to make 9 separate kind of like layers to this dungeon based on each of those. And then I also want to do one layer of it per like PC backstory, so there's going to be a lot of layers there, and then there's dungeon between like getting to all of these different sections. So I'm like, this again, it's gonna go out with a bang. I'm trying to make this the best dungeon I absolutely can. I spent all day drawing an alternate outfit for my PNG avatar, if you're curious as to what I've been up to. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. As always. Do you mind if I see? Can I see him? um, Obviously, only if you're okay with it. Oh my gosh, jump scare. Hello, sweetie. How's it going? Oh my gosh, I just got British person jump scared. That was terrible. But how's your day been going? How's your week been? Meant Sona, not Sone. Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure if like what you meant by that, so I was like, I'll just read PNG tuber because I don't know what the Sone part of that meant. I'm still working on it. Not enough to share yet. Well, all right, that's fair. That's fair enough. I'll respect that. um, so yeah, it's just been so much working on the D&D campaign that I'm like, and I'm trying to like again, I'm trying to make this the biggest thing possible because like not only has this one fight been getting built up for over a year, this campaign's been going on for over 4 now. So I'm like, if we're ending it really big. So like I need to order. It's like a giant war's about to happen, so I need to order 2 maps. 2 more battle maps. I'm gonna like get my family to lend me some tables so then I can bring those over to where we play it at to try and set all those things up. And I have a friend who 3D prints things. So my goal right now is to get them to like print me because like there's like 2 different huge monsters that they're gonna be fighting, and so I need to get like 2 separate giant like figures printed out for those. So I'm like, I'm so excited for it. I'm so ready. It's going to be so stressful, I'm sure, trying to run that, but I'm so excited for it. Oh, welcome in social. Hello. How's it going? How's your day been? Did you read the Thalia bio, though? No, I did not. I logged on to Discord yesterday, and then every single time I tried to send a message, I got interrupted, so I think around 4 p.m. I just kind of gave up. There are so many messages I needed to respond to on there, and I just kind of put my phone in defeat, being like, I'm not doing it. I can't do this today, so I haven't read anything. So I do apologize about that. I've survived medic work in the field. Oh my gosh. No, military. I was about to ask the exact same thing. No, volunteer for LARPers. Oh, okay, just curious. How was that? Was that like a good time? Did you enjoy surviving it? Because didn't you do that? You did that last year too, didn't you? Remind me what that's all about, because I remember us talking about you doing medical work for like a LARPing event, but I don't remember like all the details. No worries, it's just a 500 words either. Lose the glasses? Oh no, hang on. This is... Okay, so I've been trying to work on getting expressions done so that I can lose my glasses, but for right now I'll just actually take off my glasses. Oh no. Hang on. No. Hang on. Oh, let me move the mic out of the way. Hang on. Actually, no. Mike, you can just go with me while I lean completely in to read the chat. Oh, there we go. No worries. It was like 500 words either way. I also put out... Oh, hello. Welcome in. Yes, lurkers are so welcomed here. Thank you. Hang on, I can't read your name. I'm not wearing my glasses anymore. I'm sorry. I'll be able to thank you later. But welcome in. I hope you enjoy your stay. I also put out a watermelon snow minific today for Pride Month. Oh, let's go. Was it not the chapter that you were working on, or is it just like a specific special just for Pride Month? I do it 2 to 4 times a year basically. It's IRL D&D, and I gotta patch them up if they hit each other too hard or get too drunk. That's awesome. Do you ever actually like go and like do like LARPing there, or are you just there to be like the medic for everyone essentially? Oh, I thought it was from the VTuber. You don't have to take your glasses off IRL XD. No. Well, that's the thing though. I'm like working on it because that's kind of like the punishment is now I'm blind as a bat. So that's why I have to keep moving around and like to read everything. So I mean, you spent the 5,000 points. I want to get you your money's worth, because like my plan with it is to get it so like the glasses are off, and then my eyes go really squinty like Velma, just being like, I can't see without my glasses. That's the plan. And I plan to reenact that in real life, obviously. I also learned how to... Oh? Wait. Oh, hang on. I can't read. I can't see the name. I'm so sorry. But thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. Oh my gosh. Not only do I need new glasses anyways, but my eyes are so terrible. I was told when I went and got my glasses originally that I have some of the... So I didn't get glasses till I was 19, okay? And that's because somehow at every like school event, like where they do like eye tests and everything, or like even getting my driver's license, I was like, I passed with flying colors. And I was just guessing. I was just guessing all of it. But then eventually there came a time where like my parents just suggested like, you always talk about how you can't see things like when you're sitting in the back of classrooms or anything like that. So you gotta like maybe we should just like take you in and see if you need glasses. And so I went in with my brother who was getting his prescription redone, and I was told that I have the worst eyes that they've seen in years. And I was like, oh, thank you. I appreciate that so much. And so when I finally got my put on my first pair of glasses ever, it felt like I was seeing the world for the first time. I was like, wait, everything's so clear. Oh my god, everything's not completely fuzzy. Oh my gosh, that's insane. Let me tell you, the world was so much prettier when it wasn't all fuzzy. When it wasn't in 480p, it looked so freaking pretty. Um, Wait, I also learned how to assess a fractured and or sprained foot slash ankle as well as a torn Achilles heel. How do you take care of someone's torn Achilles heel? Isn't that like something like super duper dangerous? Like obviously it's like something super duper dangerous to have happens. Like what do you do in that case? It's a 550 word mini fix, small window into the trans AU, unrelated to chapter 5. Okay, okay, so it was specific for this. I don't play in this system, but I've LARPed before. Okay, okay, nice, nice. Um, I've never LARPed before, and I've only ever seen like one LARPing event nearby. Like there sort of is like a sort of convention for LARPing, but only some people even LARP there, and it's mostly just a place for you to walk around, go to some shops, and have everything be fantasy themed. But most people don't LARP there, specifically because it's mostly open during the summer in the middle of the day, and it gets really, really hot. So a lot of people are like, I don't really want to put on anything extra. Speaking of it being hot, the weather was being such a dick today. There have been clouds who have been, like, teasing that they're going to cover up the sun all day. So I was like, you know, I want to go for a walk today because I've been inside cleaning all day. So I want to go for a walk to really stretch my legs before I start streaming. And then, like, 20 minutes before, I was like, the clouds still aren't moved in. I guess I'm just going to go when it's, like, over 100 degrees outside with, like, no kind of protection on. That's going to be fun. And then as soon as I get back from it, I sit down to start streaming. I glance out my window. I'm like, oh, of course. Now all the clouds have moved in and have actually given, like, cover. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. I'm getting new glasses on Wednesday. Oh, Base, let's go. I've been, like, needing to for a long time. Like, probably around, like, 6-7 months now. I've just been too lazy and too, like, but my glasses still work well enough. So I'm like, why do I need to get new glasses? But I really should be getting some new ones. Is it just, like, time for your prescription to get, like, updated or something? Because, like, with my glasses, no one in my family can figure out what's wrong with them. Because, like, with my glasses, I've been so careful. Like, whenever I'm working out, I take them off. Whenever I'm going anywhere dirty, I take them off. Like, if I'm ever doing anything that could remotely put anything on my glasses, I take them off because I don't want to ruin them or anything like that. But there's this weird film that's, like, on my glasses, and I've even taken them in to get cleaned, like, professionally before. I've had, like, friends, family, yada yada, everyone look at them. Like, no one can figure out what it is, and it just doesn't go away. And somehow they're scratched, even though, again, I take my case basically everywhere I go, so then if there's any remote, tiny, infinitesimal chance that they will get scratched or smudged, I take them off. Because I'm like, what's the point of getting glasses if they just get scratched? Put your glasses back on. Can I get another 5,000? Wait, can I pay another 5,000 so you can put them back on? No, 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 no. I'll just put them back on for you. I'll just put them back on. There we go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The new expressions will be coming in the future. Boo. What are you booing for? Also, your name's blue on my screen. That's weird. Normally it's red. Put your glasses back on. Thank you. Thank you. I did. I caved to peer pressure. I said assess, not fix. Fixing is above my... You know what? That's fair. That's fair. I kind of, like, did a huge jump there from assess to fixing it. So that's completely fair. You're thinking of a Ren Fair. I'm getting new ones on the 11th, Lamau. Ooh, ooh. All of us getting new glasses. Oh my gosh. Maybe I should get them next week. Maybe I should get them next week just so I fit in with everyone getting their new glasses. That'd be nice. Wait, so how do you assess, like, a torn Achilles then? Is it just something you kind of like feel out, being like, yeah, I feel like the muscles right here are kind of wrong? Have you tried fairy liquid to clean them? What is fairy liquid? I've never even heard of that. Fairy liquid. No, I don't think I've ever even seen this before. Maybe that's something to try before I get new ones. Cause again, like so there is like the weird film on them, but there's also just like scratches, and that I just have no idea where they came from. Because like I won't even take my glasses into like basements with me. Like if I'm going into a basement, I just kind of assume that there's going to be like some dust in the air, and I'm like, no, I'm good. So I put them in the case, and then I leave them upstairs or whatever. Like that's how careful I try to be with them. So I don't know. Like there are like small scratches, which aren't the worst thing, but yeah. Honestly, maybe when I get the new ones, I should like invest in some of this just to try and keep them clear, because it's also like really cheap. Like, oh wait, is this like specifically like a British thing? Because the first thing that's being pulled up is the I can buy Fairy original washing up liquid from British Food Shop and more small businesses. Okay, so it's like on Amazon, I looks like I can get it for like $20. Dang. If I lived in the UK, I could get it for $3.99. That's so nice. Oh my gosh. It's hard to explain, but you have them stand on their good leg and put their bad leg on a chair seat, then squeeze the back of their calf. If their foot moves, it's intact, and if not, that means the Achilles tendon is shot. Ugh. Can you like feel the muscles like do that? Like if there's anything wrong with it, like can you like feel like moving underneath the skin or anything like that? Because if so, like ugh. That's what I was like going through my brain when you were talking about like squeezing the back of their calf to see if you can get it to react like that. Like, ugh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. It's probably a Brit thing, but it cleans my glasses perfectly when they get mega gross. Dang, then I probably should try and invest in it. Because I've taken them to get cleaned before, and I've had people try to clean them, people who also just wear glasses and have perfectly clean glasses year round, and they're just stumped on how to get my glasses to stay clean, and I'm like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Help, please. So I might need to invest in some of this. It's probably a yeah. Oh, so that's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. I think because my brother's also been needing new glasses recently, so maybe we'll both just go in sometime next week to get it taken care of. Because again, I'm too busy this week getting things ready for D&D, and that is obviously the priority. All right, that's obviously the priority. Listen, I have oh what's the shirt called? I haven't worn it in a while, but a long time ago, like how long ago was it? I think it was like a year and a half, 2 years. My players really wanted to get me a big thank you present for being like the forever DM of like 5 years at the time, 6 years or something like that, 5 or 6 years. So they got me, I think it was like I think it said like Daddy Master on it or something like that. Just like a big like joke kind of shirt. But I'm like, listen, I gotta live up to that shirt right now. I gotta go as hard as I can. So yeah, the D&D takes priority over my eyes. Sometimes you can feel it. Yeah, I only had one hand on for the sprain/fracture and then the Achilles, so I don't have much experience with them. I only medic like 2 to 4 times a year. That's fair. That's fair. I'm glad you haven't had any like gross experiences like that, because that just sounds so horribly unpleasant to me. IMO. Because like stuff like that, like when I was getting like my wrist checked to find like all the issues with them, and the doctor started like moving around the bones, like the feelings of like my muscles moving around them, I was like, oh, stop, please. I get your point. Do not do that anymore. So it's like medical stuff like that. Like I'm very okay with like I'm very good with stuff like externally, as long as it's like not in my body, as long as the issues aren't inside, or like there's like nothing like being like put there that shouldn't be in me. I'm like very fine with most things. As soon as things like start going into the body and like messing with stuff in there, and you can like feel it, it's like, no, please, I'm good, I don't want to. Honestly, it's chill when it's not your bones. That's good. That like just like the way like it feels, or like the way like you handle it, because like I guess with like bones it could also get like a lot like messier to deal with, and it's a lot more dangerous like that. Whereas like if it's just kind of like muscles, while it's like still like a terrible injury, it's not like as disgusting to deal with, because again, like at worst it is just kind of like, for me specifically, it would be like, again, like feeling any kind of like muscular issues. But even then, that's probably a lot easier to handle than like how hard it is to handle like bones. Or I can't really handle vomit, but that's about it when it comes to medic stuff, lol. See, and like vomit, like that's another big one of like, yeah, as long as people aren't like throwing up everywhere, that's fine. And it's honestly because like I worked at a hotel for so many years, and because of that, I can now handle so many of like the gross stuff like that. Like I'm like, when people like, I used to be like so sensitive like when people would throw up around me, but because of how much I've cleaned up now, it's like this just doesn't affect me at all anymore. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing right now. So like it's good, like it builds up your resistance to gross things, but it's also kind of like not good that you had to deal with all that. I basically do bumps and cuts and stabilizing. Any major stuff is for people more qualified. Again, which is so fair. It's so fair. If you're just there to, like, assess the damages and, like, take care of, like, the minor stuff, as soon as someone, like, snaps a bow and it's like... Or, like, does anything, I guess, like, worse than that, it's like, that's above your pay grade. That's fine. That's fine. But yeah, I had one other thing I was going to talk about, but I'm kind of blanking on it. So I think with that being said, we might be ready to basically jump into the game. To be fair... There's not a lot of major injuries at LARP. That's fair, because like, it's kind of like you said, like, it's really only like when they like would get drunk that they'd hurt each other. But even then, it's like, they're not bringing in real weapons or anything like that. Like at worst, like, what is it? Like, some styrofoam or like some plastic, you know? Like, nothing like too bad. Granted, like, let's say like someone brings in like a Nerf sword. Those can hurt. Those can hurt really bad, but it doesn't cause injuries. So I guess that would be the difference, you know? They won't injure you. They'll just kind of suck to get hurt with. But at the same time, it's like they're just there to LARPing. It's not like they're actually trying to like beat each other up. So that's really nice. But like, is LARPing just kind of like, do you play with the same rule? Like, is it you play with like RPG, quote unquote, like combat? Like, how does that like work? And like actually like doing it sense, or is it more about like the story and just kind of like being in the atmosphere of it all? Like let's say like, oh, it's like you're like going through a story and it's like time for a fight. Do you just go down like, all right, it's time to just throw down, or is it more like, oh, I get to use this move and then you get to like block or defend? Like how does that work? Protect the eyes. The eyes are the most important thing to protect, because that's, listen, when you're a kid and you're just playing around with like the Nerf swords or like stuff like that, the eyes are the most, like, the thing that you need to be the most wary of, because people stab, and it's so dangerous. Well, I'm gonna go sleep because it's late, but have fun, Betty, and the meme machine. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Weapons are firm foam and stuff with latex covering. I'll send you stuff in DMs tomorrow to explain LARP, because there's no way I'm doing it here. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Like, if it's a really long explanation, that's totally fine if you need to go sleep instead. So I hope you have a great rest of your night, and thank you so much for stopping by. It's awesome to talk to you as always. Bye-bye. Have a good night. But, yeah. With that being said, I think we're good to be switching on over to the game. Bloop, bloop. Last time... Wait, hang on, game. Oh, BS, I just had you ready to go, silly. Hang on. Let me just switch it over really quick. Why are you trying to capture Twofold? I haven't tried to open Twofold since Wednesday. How dare you? Hang on. There we go. Perfection. Beautiful. Last time we played this, I feel like we got a lot done, actually. We saw Jen get flirted with Chloe. They were flirting, which was weird because it happened like right after Chloe and Rio's date, which I was waiting for. That's my OTP. That's who I ship. So that's what I was waiting for, and then it felt perfect. And then we got some stuff with like the learning about like the religion. And then there's a lot that happened last week, because there was also a lot of stuff like with the just the characters trying to figure out the situation, like, oh, like the matchmaking thing and yada yada, stuff like that, and also people getting sick and like trying to like take care of each other and stuff like that. So we got through so much last time. We finished Act 2, and like I feel like we're like a decent, like a good like third maybe into Act 3 maybe. So I can't make it tonight, sad. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, as long as, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do, so no worries about it at all. So I hope you have a great rest of your night, though, Flowey. Thank you for stopping by. Have a good one. But yeah, I think that pretty much covers like all like the major stuff that happened. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get on into it. Oh yeah, we also saw like the that we get little achievements in the side, which I greatly appreciate. I'm glad you found the game in Twitch. Oh yes, I forgot. I'm not gonna lie, this was just because of how busy I was doing the D&D stuff. I saw your messages about it, and I thought I replied, and then when I was checking the messages today that I needed to reply to, I was like, oh no, I forgot to be like, oh, thank you so much for like adding that, like, and telling you about it, and yada yada, stuff like that. So like, yes, I did see that your message about it, and I just forgot to reply. That is entirely my bad. But yeah, the category has been added to Twitch now, which is awesome. I step off the bus and head towards Mina's place. As I approach her home, I feel a familiar vibration in my pocket. Rio Billman Klein. Is how you pronounce that name, or is it Klein? Klein or Klein? It's one of those two. Hey Aspen, it turns out I can't make it today. I'm so sorry. Is everything okay? Do you need anything? I'm fine. Smiley face. Thank you. Not clean? Okay, so it's not clean. So like Klein. That's my headcanon for how you pronounce it. That's my headcanon for reality really quick. Yes? Oh, let's go. Let's go. Okay, have a good day. I wonder what's going on. Rio needs a study session more than Mina does. Oh yeah, that was a big thing. Rio was all like, oh man, how can I trick these guys into like getting together, like hanging out and stuff like that? Oh, I know. Let's do a study session, and then I'm a dip. So, which is also the same thing that Rio did for Mina and Aspen during the football game. I hope she's okay. Alone, I activate the doorbell, and one of Mina's dads greets me and invites me in. Mina quickly comes downstairs and crashes into me with a big, affectionate hug. I want to make some tea. Would you like some also? Sure, thank you. Okay, you can go to my room. I'll be there after I grab the tea. I head upstairs and enter her room. I set my things down and begin to scan her bookshelf. As I pass one of her bookshelves, I notice several romance novels. Though I am not typically interested in traditional romance stories, I am still familiar with the more famous writers. Dog, that's ironic considering what you're a part of right now. She has Still Thereafter by Elon... Oh no. Pfeiffer? Pfeiffer? I think is how you pronounce that name. Courtney's Mess by Minerva Eularia, and Tales from the Clearwaters, another story by Eularia. All these books have central plots that, at least to my understanding, revolve around straight romance stories. However, right next to the Tales from the Clearwaters is Anna Amok by Olivia Beaufort, which is my favorite romance novel of all time. In my excitement, I take the book off her shelf to briefly flip through the pages. I hear the door open behind me. Mina comes into the room with our tea. I quickly put the book behind my back, which is a silly reaction. That only makes you look significantly more suspicious. I surreptitiously returned the book to the bookshelf. Oh, that's a good one. One of my favorites. Wait. Does she really like Anna Amok enough to call it one of her favorites? That's exciting. I'm glad you like it too. It's one of my favorite romance stories of all time. One of the best. Awesome. We should talk about it. Mina pours us each a cup of tea, adding some lemon juice. Mina brings me one of the cups of tea. Thank you. Of course. So, what's your favorite part of the story? Mina squeezes a small amount of honey into her drink while awaiting my response. Well, I'm a sucker for a good confession. I love the scene where Anna confessed her feelings for Violet. Oh yeah? That was good. The build-up over the entire story was intense. It's wild how long Anna waited to tell Violet, you know? Oh no. And then Aspen's gonna start being like, oh no, this is like me. I'm waiting so long. Oh. Well, if it was you, how quickly would you have confessed? As Mina thinks, I take a sip of my tea. Well, in truth, it depends, but all things considered equal, I'd say it right away. Damn, you're not messing around. It's hard for me to not just say it, you know? It's an intense feeling, and I don't want to hold it in. It needs to be set free. I suppose. I mean, what if it doesn't seem like the right time? That's what I mean when I say it depends. There are reasons to not tell someone you love them, but if there isn't a compelling reason not to, I'd just say it. I see. Well, I have all sorts of reasons I haven't confessed. How about you? What are your favorite parts of the story? Mina taking her copy of Anna Amok. Are these like the names of real authors and stories, or are they kind of invented for the game? Because I don't think I've heard of any of these if they are real. I only have heard of like some of the stories, but I feel like the names of the authors sound like they sound familiar enough that I'm like, are they real people? These are written in the future? Okay, okay. Writers, yeah, written in the future. Okay, that makes sense. Mina taking her copy of Anna Amok takes a moment to contemplate while flipping through the pages. Well, I actually have two scenes that I like the most. One is the scene when Violet finally tells off Daisy. I remember that first time I read it. Oh, I hated Daisy as a character. She's so malicious and bullies Violet the entire story. And I thought that Anna would end up being Violet's white knight, coming to the rescue by defeating Daisy. But instead, Violet has a substantial amount of character growth throughout the story and defends herself. I'm glad Violet didn't end up as some sort of damsel in distress. That's a good choice. I really like the direction that went as well. How about your second favorite part? Well, these aren't in any particular order. I really like them both, but Mina places her hand on her chest and hesitates for a moment. It's actually the sex scene in the penultimate chapter between Anna and Violet. Oh my gosh, Mina would love book talk. Oh? I'm surprised by Mina's response. It isn't a problem, of course. I like the scene too. I just didn't expect it to be her favorite. Hey, what's with that look? Don't make me feel weird about it. Oh no, I'm sorry. I don't think it's weird. I mean, I like that scene also. You did? Yeah. What is it about the scene you like the most? Mina is uncharacteristically bashful at the moment. Her face is a little pink and her eyes turn away from me. Well, I remember the first time I read it, it's just a really hot scene. That's so valid. You're so real for that, Mina. It made me really, you know, Olivia is such a good writer. She can paint a really vivid picture. The little details in the scene stuck with me, like the way Anna kisses Violet's inner thigh and how Violet struggles to hold back. That scene just did something to me. It moved me. As Mina recalls how she felt, I begin to think about the scene as well. I can't help getting a little turned on. To be honest, I had a very similar reaction. Well, I'm glad to know I'm not the only one. Same. Mina's eyes return to the book. She slowly flips through the pages and eventually stops and asks me an unexpected question. When did you know? I mean, when did you know you weren't into men? For a few seconds, I'm taken aback by Mina's question. I suppose the story of Anna and Violet got her thinking about it. When I was pretty young, I remember being exclusively attracted to women, so it became obvious after a while. After my partnership with Emma, I had no doubts about my sexuality. I had crushes here and there as well. Yeah, you know, I asked you several days ago if you have a crush on anyone. Oh shit. I freeze up for a moment. I don't want to lie to her, but I can't just tell her that I love her. I know I said I didn't, but I do have a crush. Oh my god. Who is it? Mina's excitement is both thrilling and scary. Her eyes peer deep into mine as she awaits my response. I don't know what to say. How can I hide my feelings for her while also not giving her the impression that I can't trust her? I'm sorry, I can't. Aww. Why? I promise I won't tell anyone. She pouts, gazing towards me. I know she has a hard time with feeling left out. I'm not sure what to say. Mina, I trust you wouldn't tell anyone, but... What can I do to get you to spill it, huh? What favor can you ask of me? She leans in close to me with a collusive grin. She's ready to make a deal. Despite my nerves, I find myself laughing at the situation. Unbeknownst to her, she's trying to get me to tell her I love her. That's when it turns out Mina's just like right on top of it. She's like, listen, girl, I know that you like me. I'm just trying to get you to say it. Come on. Is this the time to tell her? It's really important to me to make this special. Can I turn this into an optimal moment to tell Mina how I feel? I mean, it's not a bad time. She's asking me what she can do to get me to tell her my secret. I can set this up as ideally as possible. I pull out my phone and look at the calendar. Well, what are you doing tomorrow for dinner? Oh my gosh, wait, that's so smooth. Being like, let me take you out to dinner to tell you the secret. Turns out I like you. Oh my gosh. Her expression is one of surprise, as if she didn't expect me to play along. I'm free. Her excited demeanor causes me to giggle. Well, how about you take me out to Little Bird? They have a really good pierogi. What on earth is a pierogi? Hang on. Also, hello. Oh, okay, there we go. I was checking on the YouTube side because I forgot that. I realized I put it down. Hang on, let me check. A pierogi. Oh, they're dumplings. Oh. Okay, okay. Looks like they came from Poland. Oh. Ooh, wait, some of these look so good. I just had lunch right before stream. Okay, well, not right before stream, like 2 hours ago. But I'm already getting hungry now. I feel like these always turn in, like, whenever we're doing R&D, there's like a 50-50 chance it's going to be, like, food related, and then a 50% chance for literally everything else. I feel like that's how it always goes. Yes, I can take you out. Finn and I actually went there last month. It was delicious. Sounds good. I'm happy that Mina's excited to hang out with me, even if it's more about finding out who I love. ... I nearly forgot why I came to Mina's place to begin with. I suppose I should start helping her with statistics. Are you ready to work on your assignment? Yes. It'll be hard to focus, but I'm sure I'll survive. I share Mina's plight. It's going to be difficult for me to help her with the assignment without thinking about what we'll be doing tomorrow. Mina pulls out her tablet and I review her assignment. I remember doing something similar to this a couple of years ago. Okay, let's get started. Ooh. Wait, yes? Of course, of course. I get behind Mina so I can look over her shoulder as she does her work. I'm sure you know how to calculate variances and standard deviations. That's secondary school stuff. Calculating convariances and correlation coefficients is just a little more complicated, but not by much. You're calculating covariances for the sample rather than the population, so you'll use this formula, n1, in the denominator. In truth, it's just a lot of plug and play at this point. Simply add the values for x and y, as well as their averages for each case. Mina calculates by hand the covariances of the model for the assignment. It isn't difficult for Mina, but it is time-consuming. I'm sure I've talked about this 1,000 times already, but that was the biggest issue of, like, doing college math, was, the questions weren't really that hard. It's just the fact that they took, like, 20 minutes each to do. And I know that wasn't just a me thing, because that's how, like, all of our, like, homework assignments were only, like, 4 problems long, and everyone would come in and complaining, like, oh my gosh, that took me, like, 3 hours to do, and it's like, yeah. It wasn't a good time. It wasn't a good time. Especially if you get to the end and you realize, oh no, I did something wrong. Time to start all the way over. Yay! It felt so good. I loved college math. Okay, so your result is a positive number. This just shows directionally. As x increases, so too does y, and vice versa. The number itself cannot alone tell us the strength of the relationship between x and y. It only shows us whether the relationship is a positive or negative. You can then use the covariance to calculate a correlation coefficient, which standardizes it between -1 and 1. This makes the strength of the relationship much more interpretable. The closer the number is to either -1 or 1, the stronger the relationship between x and y. This is the formula for calculating the correlation coefficient between x and y. As you can see, it calls for the product of both standard deviations for x and y. Of course, regardless of the result, the correlation coefficient does not imply causality, nor does it control for mediating, moderating, or confounding variables. I'm curious why the professor has you calculating correlation coefficients at all, since they aren't typically used in structural equation modeling. Mina gives me a deflated look. I'm sure the last thing Mina wants to do is unnecessary work. Anyway, since you're using structural equation modeling, you'll be calculating these covariances for latent constructs. This means you'll be building a covariance matrix for every observed variable across all latent constructs. Got it? Let's go, let's go. It seems like the assignment just wants you to calculate a simple covariance matrix for this example. Later, if your course is anything like mine was, you'll use that matrix and compare it to the model implied covariance matrix to determine the model fit. That's when you'll get your chi squared value and your p values, and you can test for statistical significance. Mina seems to grasp the material easily enough. It just involves some time-consuming calculations I'm sure she isn't excited to do. She nonetheless completes what is required for the assignment. I take a look over her work, and it's perfect. Well done. This is great. I'm glad all that's over with. What a hassle. Thanks a lot, Aspen. I appreciate your help. Mina gives me an appreciative hug. Of course, Mina. Anytime. I'm also excited about tomorrow. Ooh, I wonder who it is. I chuckle at Mina's characteristic silliness. After some goodbyes, I pack my things, head out, and manage to arrive just in time to catch the bus. I need to start planning how exactly I'm going to tell Mina. While riding home, I grab my phone and look at the display, wondering if it would be a good idea to call Jen and ask for help. I don't know what it is. Something about being in this bus feels so cozy. Maybe it's just like the really bright yellows conflicting with like, not conflicting, but like contrasting with all like the very cool colors. I'm like, this just feels like a nice place to be in. Maybe she's busy, but if she is, I'm sure she'll try calling me back later. Unfortunately, Jen doesn't seem available. However, to my surprise, she sends me a quick message back. Jennifer Winters. I'll call you back in a few, just give me a moment. Okay, no rush. I wonder what's going on. While I wait on Jen, I suppose I should start brainstorming about how I'm going to confess. I make it home 15 minutes later. I wasn't very productive when thinking about confession strategies. My mind is all over the place. It's hard to think. See, this is like my kind of strategy with stuff like this, is just to go for it, because I think if you overthink it and you try to plan it all out, it's more likely that if something goes wrong or doesn't like work the way you want it to, that you're just gonna like kind of go into panic mode. So you need to be able to like be like just like wing it. You need to be ready for like those kind of things to happen and just like let it be more natural, I guess. I don't have a lot of time though. I need to come up with something. I'm gonna meet Mina tomorrow. My phone buzzes. I pull out my phone and see Jen's face on the display. Hello? Hey, yeah. Hey, Jen, what are you up to? Actually, I'm in the playground across the street. Oh, one of those days. Yeah. I'm sorry, Jen. It's okay. Anyway, what's up? You called earlier. Yeah. I spent time telling Jen everything that happened while I was at Mina's place. From Rio canceling at the end of the study session with all the big moments in between. Whoa. I guess this is it, huh? I suppose so. I knew this day would eventually come, but never actually planned on how it would go. You, Aspen, not planning? I know. I mean, I've imagined standing in front of her as she sits on a park bench. It's just me and her as the leaves fall from the trees. Not, her heart's pounding so hard it's bursting out of her chest. Oh no, Aspen, put it back. I've imagined the silence before the moment I tell her I love her. She looks at me with a tear running down her cheek and a smile on her face. There's a brief silence. I wonder if Jen might be just thinking about what I've said, but it then hits me that this is a silence of judgment. Damn. This is peak fairy tale princess shit. Wow. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make you feel bad. Actually, if it went just like that, I'm sure it'd be beautiful. Beautiful like fairy tale princess shit? Come on, I said I'm sorry. We both chuckle at one another. I suppose I did find her comment a little unkind, but I know she means no harm. Well, what do you think I should do? Jen takes a moment to ponder. I know Jen isn't an expert on this topic, but neither am I. Two heads are better than one, I suppose. Well, let's aim to fulfill your imagination. I mean, there is a park right across the street from Littlebird. So you could walk around town a little, then go to dinner, then go to the park and confess to her there, just like you imagined. That does sound nice, actually. Oh, did you not expect my suggestion to sound nice? Well... My revenge succeeds when we find ourselves having a laugh together. I'm glad I called Jen. I'm kidding. Thank you, Jen. Just being able to talk this out has helped me. Yeah, of course. I'm glad to help. Jen and I spend some more time just talking as she awaits at the playground. Most of our conversation still centers around Mina and I, since that's all I can think about at the moment. Jen doesn't seem to mind at all. Anything to take her mind off of her current situation. I'm so ready for it. For some reason, I just feel like I just feel like it's going to go wrong. Something is going to like make her plan go awry. She's not going to say everything she wants to the way she wants to. Just something's going to make her plan just not work out. I arrived at the classroom. I still feel a little tired. My body has been slow to start this morning for some reason. Nonetheless, I'm excited to be in my favorite class, art theory. It looks like I've arrived before Chloe. I cannot confirm nor deny. Well, you know, the fact that you had to bring that up makes me feel like something's going to go bad, you know? The fact that you had to say that makes it feel a little, you know? But hey, that's okay. I'm excited to see how it could go wrong. Is that cruel to say? I think, you know, I don't think so. I'm just interested in the conflict that'll come from it. As I often do, I set up my tablet and take my seat. After a few minutes, Professor Kalen walks into the classroom, and therefore he can shut the door behind him. Chloe stops it from shutting and slides in just in time. Also, what the freak is on the projector? I just noticed that. Are they like starting like wormholes right now? Is this a class in portals? She takes a seat next to me. As she sets down her things, we make eye contact. Maintain eye contact. I smile and wave. She briefly looks at me before directing her attention towards the professor. Would you like... It's the computer's wallpaper, lol. Oh, that's... You know what? That makes a lot more sense. The reason I was so taken aback by it was like, because I was thinking like, they're just learning such normal, like, grounded things that like, you know, like they need in like society, like, you know, like their math, their history, like their sociology and stuff like that. And you know, like some of it's like, you know, futuristic versions. So I was just looking there like, oh, is this the part where it's just gonna go like super sci-fi out of nowhere? I was like, I don't know if I'm ready for that. But that makes so much more sense. Yeah, we'll listen to the lecture. Good morning. Before we begin, I want to remind everyone that the voting for the next art club meeting concluded yesterday. So if you haven't seen the results, we'll be meeting on the 87th at 1600 hours. Professor Kalen swipes through his tablet for about 10 seconds as we all wait in silence. Can anyone remind me where we left off last time? We were talking about closure. Ah, yes, okay. In fact, I believe we finished that section. Professor Kalen spends a few more seconds swiping through his tablet. Okay, the next Gestalt principle we will be covering is called Common Fate. Oh my gosh, fate reference, oh my gosh. Before I get into it, I want you to remember the principle of movement in design. You should remember this from last semester. Can anyone recall what is meant in this context by movement? Is it just paths that are made in your art? Yes, that is a potential example, but there's more to it. What is the main part of movement that makes it so important? It gives you control of how the eyes of the viewer travel across your work. Professor Kalen points at me briefly. That is exactly right, Rio. There are many ways you can imply movement in your art. Unity, rhythm, color, repetition. These are all examples of ways to imply movement. Let's go. Got it. Again, you're so quick with it. I love it. So how does this apply to Common Fate? Like most of Gestalt theory, we are talking about how the brain organizes groups. So Common Fate simply refers to grouping features together through shared movement. Regardless of what method you use to imply movement, if several features within your piece use this method, the brain assumes them to be grounded together. This can be used to control your audience's attention, guiding their eyes across your art as you intend. I'm sure you can imagine a slew of obvious examples of Common Fate at work. But let me show you a few historical examples of Common Fate at work in less obvious ways. Oh my gosh, Twitch TOS, please don't come after me. This is an art class. The first example is Delacroix's Liberty, Leading the People. This was crafted during the Common Era in 1830. The emphasis of this piece is the banneret leading the people while they charge forward. The people in the case are the groupings. Now what's less obvious is how we group the people. Are the people in the background part of their own group, or do they belong to the same group as the people in the front? Next we have MC Escher's Night and Day, also made during the Common Era in 1938. Hang on, I've seen that last one. I don't think I've ever seen this one before. This looks so cool. This piece is an interesting one when it comes to Common Fate. It's obvious that on both the left and right sides of the piece, the birds are part of a group. So the duality of both the day and night sides create two distinct groups with movement that are opposite. However, the use of tessellation in the center creates a dissonance in the grouping process. Moving on to our last historical example, this is a Claire's Necrostratus crafted in 2301. This looks so cool. Sorry, on both the last two pictures, I literally I just stopped just to look at the art. I honestly love this piece despite its dystopic setting. Of course, a lot of dystopic art was created during this time because of the revolution. I want to point out the scumbling used on the smog and the fog that makes it look almost like that textured glass used in laboratories. Of course, the use of common fate here is the smog pouring into the sky. However, you may see individual smokestacks as its own group, or since they ultimately meet in the same place, all one group. Now, there's more to be said about common fate, but I'll leave the rest up to your text, which you are responsible for reading by the end of the respite. Any comments, questions, concerns? The classroom remains silent during the several seconds Professor Kalen gives us to speak. Okay, for the remainder of the class period, I want you to begin considering possible applications of the principle of common fate in your own artwork. Before the completion of the semester, you will have to implement this principle into at least one of your 3 pieces. If you'll find it helpful, you may get into groups to help each other brainstorm. With Professor Kalen's direction, I begin thinking of how to apply the principle to my work. However, I can't help but be distracted by him mentioning grouping up with one another. I, of course, think of Chloe. I lift my eyes to look at Chloe. She quickly glances away when she notices I see her looking at me. I assume Chloe typically prefers to work alone, but given the suggestion and the fact that we recently went on a date, perhaps she'd be willing to work with me. Hey. Just insert the Spider-Verse meme. Chloe's eyes dart in my direction, but her face remains unchanged. Her chin rests on the palm of her hand, her elbows planted on the desk. Do you want to group up? Chloe gives a quick, perfunctory nod. Perfunctory, that word's hard for me to say, which I take as approval before scooting closer to me, giving me some room to sit next to her. I move my things and shift closer to Chloe. I pull out my tablet while she stares at her own. This shouldn't be too difficult. We've taken art courses together before and are pretty familiar with each other's art styles. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm sure it'll be easier if we work together. Chloe is familiar with my Belleronian style of landscape art, which is somewhere between realist and impressionist style. Chloe creates genre art using surrealist approach. Her art often features settings of cosmic or industrial horror. Ooh. The term genre art refers to scenes and subjects from everyday life, often depicting ordinary moments or activities, while surrealist art focuses on bizarre, dreamlike, and often unrealistic settings. Of course, the idea of genre art including surrealist elements seems paradoxical. However, her art makes unnatural features seem everyday within their setting. She is very creative. We spend time making suggestions about how we can add properties of common fate to our work, being sure to suggest ideas that work with each other's art styles. Hello, insert. Welcome in. Interesting. Raw. I'm here. Welcome in. How's your day been going? We're just enjoying some Why Not Both. And yeah, that was a lot of. It's a lot of like just learning about like art in terms of everything like that. And it is very, very interesting. Especially since, you know, I'm entirely biased in this. I enjoy this a lot better than the art lecture that we just had. So, I mean, not the art lecture, the math lecture. The art lecture is the good one. So, I'm enjoying this one a lot more. We examine each other's work by navigating through our collections on our tablets. We first start with my work. I've taken lots of photos of my art lately. Chloe points that one of my pieces includes trees all bending in the wind, implying both movement and groupings. I'm impressed by Chloe's quick observation. After taking a few notes, we then move on to Chloe's collection. Though Chloe usually paints genre art, the piece of hers I have in mind is a rare departure. We don't get too far into Chloe's assemblage before we notice a perfect example of common fate. The piece includes several people running away from a giant cyclopean beast. Oh my gosh, epic reference. As I reach over... That was a bad one. That was a bad one. To a point, as I reach over her to point to a specific part of her art, I lean far enough that my shoulder and torso make contact with her body. At first, I don't notice, but when I detect that Chloe is briefly startled by our contact, it occurs to me that I might be too far into her space. Oh, I'm sorry. No, you're fine. To my surprise, Chloe moves her tablet in my direction and scoots closer towards me. Let's go, let's go. They're so in love. Our upper arms come together, as if she's leaning on me just slightly. As I realize what is happening, I feel an urge to lean on her. She is taller than I am, and it would be nice to rest my head on her shoulder. However, before I can move, the professor speaks. Now that you've dedicated some time to this, you're free to go now. However, you can use the class period to come up with more ideas if you'd like. After Professor Kalanen makes his announcement, roughly half of the students begin to pack up. Chloe and I look at one another. We seem to be mutually gauging what the other wants to do. I think I'll actually get going. No, wait, no, don't go. Don't go. Oh, that's actually really cool. Yeah, screw math. Geometry makes me cry. That's so fair. It made me cry too. Math was always the subject that like I struggled with. I always made it through. Until I got to college, and then I did great on all the homeworks and all the in-class tests and everything. But as soon as we got to the final, I threw so hard. Okay, I think I'll go too. Thanks for your help. Of course, thank you as well. We both pack up and stand at the same time. As we stand and face one another, it becomes obvious that we intend to go in opposite directions. I love the portraits trying to like move past each other like that. That was awesome. We awkwardly try to get by one another, but shift the same directions a couple of times, blocking each other's paths. I giggle at the silly situation we find ourselves in. Chloe places her hand on my right shoulder and looks into my eyes. I return her gaze. Her hand softly slides down my arm, before gently pushing me to the side, giving her room to walk by me. I'll see you later. She squeezes by me and walks towards the east exit. Bye. After taking a moment to watch her walk away from me, I turn around and leave the classroom. I have several pieces I need to finish for this class, along with a piece for the art exhibit. I head to the studio and spend a few hours getting some work done. Almost there, so close to leaving the nest, but can time move faster? Let me live alone. No, listen, you gotta cherish not being on your own. Okay. I think one of my regrets in life was how quickly I moved out. It was basically I turned 18 and then I got out of there almost instantly, basically. And part of me is it was a good thing because it gives you such good life experiences. It really teaches you how to take care of yourself, just a lot of stuff like that, teaching you the skills that you need for your adult life. But I'm also I probably should have stayed with my family just a little, not too much longer, but just a little bit longer, maybe another year or two. Just because there are a lot of parts of it, when you go on your own, you do realize I kind of miss the natural company that comes with living with a lot of people, where you don't really have to plan to hang out or plan to see each other or plan around each other's schedules. You know, there are just people coming and going. You always have people you can rely on, yada yada, stuff like that. So obviously again, I like that I did it to get all that life experiences, but there's also part of me that's but I also probably would have enjoyed that lifestyle just a little bit longer. It's one of those grass is always greener on the other sides kind of situation. Well, not really. Because I'm still happy that I moved out, you know? It's just there are obviously aspects of living with a bunch of people that there is to miss, essentially. Mina and I are meeting a little early so we can walk around together before dinner. As she gets off the bus, I'm there waiting for her. We greet one another as we usually do. We spend some time in Old Town walking around together. Mina seems to be in a good mood. Oh, I wonder who it is. She seems so excited to hear who I'm in love with. With a curious look on her face, she narrows her eyes. Patience, my friend. I'll tell you later. Dramatically pouting, Mina sticks out her tongue like a child throwing a tantrum. OMG, the wisdom. It's beautiful. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. We eventually arrive at Little Bird. Mina looks around the restaurant as we find a place to sit. It looks like they moved a lot of stuff around. It almost looks like a completely different place. Yeah, they must have done it recently. We take time to look over the menus. It doesn't take me long to select my favorite pierogi. After entering my order, I look towards Mina and notice the menu display on her side of the table is already off. Oh, you ordered already? What did you get? I got a pierogi. Me too. A bot rolls up next to our table with a slight electric hum. The platform on the bot has a pitcher of water and some glasses. I take the pitcher and 2 glasses, and I pour myself and Mina each a glass of water. Thank you. The bot drives off towards the back of the restaurant. Mina and I both sip our waters and sit in silence for a brief moment. I cannot help but feel like this is a date, and I feel really nervous. I have my guesses. Huh? About who you love. I have a guess. Oh, who is it? Please, I want Mina to guess herself so bad. I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna leave you in anticipation of who I think it is so you get a taste of how I feel right now. Mina playfully sticks her tongue out at me as a laugh sneaks out of my mouth. Okay, that's fair. How about you tell me your guess after I tell you who it is? No, you gotta both write it down like a piece of paper at the same time so then like no one can like cheat, you know? Well, I guess Aspen isn't really cheating because it'd be weird to lie about who she loves, but whatever. Unless that's the way it goes wrong. Okay, we have another deal. She smiles at me again. For a moment, I glance at her lips as she smiles, and I can't help but wonder how soft they must be. I have to snap out of it. So, how are things at the academy going? And it looks like Mina totally noticed that. I'm doing well in all of my courses. The proteomics and endocrinology courses are easier than I thought they'd be. Epigenetics and... oh no. Epitranscriptomics is challenging, but it is starting to make more sense to me. Okay, what are these? What are we talking about right now? Epigenetics and epitranscriptomics are fields that explore gene regulation beyond DNA sequencing. Epigenetics examine heritable changes in gene activity without altering the genetic code. Epitranscriptomics focuses on chemical modifications to RNA, which influence how transcripts are processed and expressed. Boop. Boop. Sociology is easy too, but it is out of my comfort zone. I'm just more of a natural scientist. I do remember you struggling with philosophy last semester. Yeah, don't remind me. I put so much effort into my embryology course that I practically forgot I was taking anything else. Mina's cute chuckle briefly fills the room. Epigenetics and epitranscriptomics is the only course that is challenging me at the moment. I'm trying to knock out all of the prerequisites I need to start taking my ectogenesis courses. I'm sure you'll do well. You're one of the best academic students at the academy. I'm always elated to receive praise from Mina. Thanks, Mina. It also helps that I have upper class folk who are willing to help if I get stuck on something. The science club has its benefits. Oh, that's right. I totally forgot you were in a club. You rarely talk about it. We don't meet often, only 4 times a semester, but because we classify as an academic club, we get resources we would otherwise not have. That's as good a reason as any. How about you? I'm doing well in all my courses. Statistics is the most challenging, but I'm getting through it. It's also been easier thanks to you. My pleasure. I also wish I would have gone into the same sociology course you were in. Mine is in the afternoon. Yeah, we miss you in there. Don't tell me that. Mina playfully pouts. She's always so adorable. Sorry, Mina. It's okay. I'm heartbroken, but I'll survive. Another chuckle escapes me. I enjoy Mina's dramatic humor. Moments later, our table beeps to notify us that our food is coming. A bot approaches our table with our meals. I grab both Mina's and my plate and some cutlery for both of us to use. We don't say much as we eat. Instead, we both enjoy our savory pierogi. It's delicious. Filled with potatoes, cheese, cabbage, mushrooms, and cultured pork. Oh no, this is making me hungry. Each bite includes a cheese pull that stretches several centimeters. It doesn't take long for us to finish our meals. We press a recall button on our table displays, and a bot comes to our table. We return the used plates, cutlery, glasses, and pitcher to the bin on Bot's platform, and set it on its way. We make our way out the door, and once we cross the threshold to the pavement, Mina stops me. Well... She has a big grin on her face and is peering into my eyes. I'm sure she becomes less patient with every passing minute. Let's walk in the park and find a place to sit down. Mina gazes at me suspiciously, but she seems to understand that I'd rather find a spot to settle before telling her. This is part of my plan. Hehehe. I feel like I'd be less nervous if we were more alone, surrounded by trees. Oh, this is so freaking pretty here. Oh my gosh. I love parks. I wish I lived in a place that has like more like, just like more like beautiful places to like walk around. Like there's like, it's in the past year that like some of the parks around me is like, well, one park around me has actually been doing a lot more of like planting like flowers and like other kinds of trees. Like there's one of the parks I like to walk through a lot that's like right behind my house basically. In the past year, they've planted like these trees that have like a bunch of like pink flowers growing on them. I'm not entirely sure what kind of tree it is specifically, but it's so freaking pretty. And like it genuinely shocked me when I saw it because I'm like, I'm just used to seeing just like the normal green leaves here. Nothing too fancy, but it's so nice. And then like some of my neighbors have even started planting a lot more like plants out in their front yards. Like whenever I'm going on walks out there, it's like there's like this huge like flower bush that's like planted one from one of their yards, and I love walking past it. It's just it's so pleasant. I just love looking at like being surrounded by like a bunch of nature. If you can't tell, it's very much so what I enjoy. When we get to the park, we are certainly not alone. There are more people here than I expected. We find the first bench next to trees facing the walkway. I intend to pass it and find another more secluded bench, but Mina does not let me. She jumps in front of me, wraps her fingers around my forearms, and sits me down. I'm surprised, but it looks like her bank of patience is all tapped out. You are not making me wait another second. I upheld my end of the bargain. Now it's your turn. Though her words seem serious, she still has a playful demeanor. Mina then sits down next to me. This is it. This is the moment I have dreamt about. This is the moment I have both longed and dreaded. I lift my head to scan the area. People are still walking about. I have daydreamt about this moment, but I never wanted to say these words surrounded by so many other people. My heart is racing, and I can feel the pace of my breath is accelerating. Aspen? Oh, she's so nervous. This time, her voice is more quiet. Her face is soft and concerned. I think she can tell I'm nervous. I begin to wonder if there's any part of her that wonders if I love her. I don't get far into that thought before she takes my hand. I know you must be scared, but I want you to know that I care about you. I support you. You can trust me. She gives me a warm smile. This kind, gregarious, gorgeous, playful woman is holding my hand, looking into my eyes and telling me that she cares about and supports me. My body feels like it catches fire. My every sensation intensifies. How can I not tell her after such kind words? Words that I love to hear and want to believe. I stand up, letting go of her hand. I'm not even thinking about the people around me anymore. I turn around to look at Mina. The concern on her face, it's enough to remind me of how much she cares. I take a deep breath, and then I speak her name just as I imagined, just as I dreamt. Mina? She seems a little startled. I close my eyes. It's you. I love you. I was surprised by how quickly it came out of me. No second guessing. I just let it happen. My eyes remain closed, my head tilted down. Well, don't do that. That makes you like, you come off as so nervous that way. Don't do that. My head tilted towards the ground. The world around me freezes. I can't think of anything at all. My mind goes from racing to at rest. My body goes from shaking to still. My awareness goes from scattered to calm. It's as if the weight hanging on my mind, body, and soul has withered away with those few words. I slowly open my eyes. Lifting my head to look at her, she looks back at me with wide, surprised eyes. She says nothing. She makes no noise. I don't know what else to do, so I just sit back down next to her. When I daydreamt about this, it ended with those words. Telling her I'm not gonna lie, when everything started going great, I thought the scene was about to end, and I was gonna be so mad. I was getting ready to rage if that had been where the scene ended. Telling her I love you was the end of the story in my head, but that's not the end. There is the moment after, and then the moment after that. What now? What do I do now? I'm afraid to look at her again, but I do anyway. She is still looking ahead, but now slumped on the bench. Mina's expression relaxes. The shock of my confession finally wears off, and she comes back to the real world. Whoa. Was there no part of her that thought I could be her? Did this come as that much of a surprise? I'm not upset or anything. I guess I did a good job of hiding my feelings from her for over a year. I don't know what to say. I need time to process this. Can we go back? Oh, yeah, sure. For the remainder of the walk to the bus stop, we don't speak. The short time it takes us to get her to her neighborhood seems like days. I keep wondering what she is thinking, but it seems best not to ask any questions. As hard as it is, I have to give her the time she needs. When we reach Mina's house, I say goodbye, but she says nothing back. And then as I turn to leave, Aspen? I turn back around to see her look towards me with one hand on the door. I'll call you in a couple of days. Okay. I smile and nod and watch as Mina closes the door behind her. I then begin walking towards the bus stop. My mind is racing, but I try to not be pessimistic. I can't help but think that she obviously doesn't have the same feelings for me. Well, but again, it's feelings are complicated like that. It's like she's not gonna have an answer like right off the bat. Like not everyone is going to, but sometimes they need to actually like sit down and sort their own feelings out when they're told stuff like that, you know. So keep hope, keep hope. If she was interested in me, she would have reacted. If she was interested in me, would she have reacted the way she did? I start thinking about all the negative possibilities. What if I made things awkward for us now? I think I can handle rejection, but I never want to stop being her friend. It's okay, Aspen. Just breathe. But still, that didn't go as well as I was expecting it to. I guess that was kind of the wrongness that was kind of being implied there, you know? Of it not ending either in an acceptance or denial or anything like that. It's just kind of like, I guess we have to wait and see now. Could we just skip ahead a few days? Could we just skip ahead a few days to when it all happens? Is that a possibility? Oh. Well, at the same time, again, it's totally valid for me to be like, no, I need some time to sort that out. Like, especially because, like, I feel like it's especially like that when you've been friends with someone for a long time and then XD. I feel like when you've been friends with someone like that for so long, being told that they have those kinds of feelings for you, it's like, okay, now it's time to reassess, like, my own feelings, how I view us, like, how I view, like, our interactions, like, yada yada, like, stuff like that. Like, you need to take that time. Well, not everyone needs to, but it's valid when people do need to take it, is what I'm trying to say. Also, I love this. I love all the solar panels. Oh my gosh, that's why it's called Solar Punk. No, I love the fact that, like, solar panels are just, like, incorporated into, like, the design of all the places. Like, I didn't talk about it at the park, but it looked like the one at the park, the solar panels there almost kind of worked like an overhang at, like, parks, like a nice place to, like, take some shade in while also still, like, getting in some, like, natural energy. Well, that isn't the only reason, but it does play a role. Yeah, no, I figured. It was, after the last stream that we did where I was looking into more of the solar, like, what makes stuff solar punk. Because I was like, I'm just curious, like, what does that actually, like, really mean, you know? I just thought it was funny. It was just a funny little thought that came to my head, like, oh my gosh, it makes so much sense now. This morning I came to the studio at the academy to get some more work done on my paintings. By the time the middle of the day comes around, I start to get hungry and decide that I'm finished with my art for the day. I travel down the secluded corridor and exit the building. I don't get far before I see Chloe in the distance walking into the social science building. Before I can yell to grab her attention, she enters the building. Perhaps it's none of my business, but I'm curious what she's doing. I didn't expect to see her on academy grounds during respite. I approach the building and go through the front doors. I immediately smell lemon-infused cleaning products. Chloe is walking in the direction of the doors, facing me as I enter the building. Well, hello there. Well, hello there, General Kenobi. Oh my gosh. I'm sure I've talked about this before, but I haven't, like, talked too much about, like, what actually happened. When me and my friend, we went to watch the episode 3 of Star Wars, because it was back in theaters like a month or two ago or something like that. Every single time, it felt so weird because I'd never seen the movie in its full before. I had only seen all of the memes, and I didn't realize so many of them came from that one specifically. So when it got to the part where, like, General Grievous was like, well, no, when Obi-Wan was like, "Why, hello there," the entire theater all went, "General Kenobi," and all started making the lightsaber sounds. It was so funny. I had such a good time. Like, I didn't actually enjoy the movie itself. I had such a good time watching it, though. It was so good. Hey, Chloe. What are you doing here? I was actually following you. Don't say that to people. I was leaving the studio when I saw you walk in here from across the courtyard. So you're stalking me. She smiles and I giggle. I know she jests. Not quite, I was just curious. What about you? I didn't expect to see you here today. I came here to see if Professor Allard was in her office. No such luck. She doesn't seem to stick to her office hours. Oh, do you need help in her class? I can help you. Chloe looks at me curiously. I can imagine she's questioning whether I know about the course content to help her efficiently. I'll take your offer into consideration. Okay. We leave the building and start walking around the academy. Not aimlessly, but we seem to be taking the long way to the southern bus stop. We have a show tomorrow, by the way. Oh yeah? At the Star and Still in Old Town? Oh my gosh, I just realized Rio hasn't been to see one of her shows yet. SMH my head. Yep, you should come. I believe I'm free. I'd love to see you in the band. I'll let you know tonight if I can make it. She doesn't respond, but I'm sure she'd be happy to have more support at the pub. Any particular reason why the Star and Still is your venue of choice? The guy who books the shows is Reggie's older brother. Reggie's a bandmate and ex-partner of mine. Oh, it's nice to have a connection like that. Yeah, we've had a hard time finding consistent local places in the past, though some of that might be my fault. Oh, how so? Well, let's just say I haven't always left a good impression. I used to be more of a hellraiser. I've chilled out since then, though. I see. Well, I'm glad you have a consistent place to perform despite all that. Yeah, it's a relief. The place has a good atmosphere and the patrons there seem so-so, which is better than what I'll say about some other places. I just want a place where I can play my music and, I don't know, escape, I guess. Chloe lights up when she talks about music and everything around it. This is an unfamiliar side of her that I haven't seen, but I'm happy to see it. Art is clearly her passion. Chloe looks at me and notices that I'm staring at her. What? You're shining. What the hell does that mean? She becomes even more handsome when she's bashful. It means I can tell you're passionate about music, and it shows. Your face brightens, and I can feel more spirit in your words, if that makes any sense. Chloe places her hand on the back of her neck and looks away. I expect her to retreat to her more callous self, but not this time. Oh my gosh, is she getting better at taking compliments? Oh my gosh? I guess so. As we continue to walk, I can see the bus stop in the distance. Hey, I'm gonna dip in here and use the loo. Okay. Gosh, they're so British. We both enter the natural and formal sciences buildings. Sciences building, sorry, and walk towards the laboratory on the bottom floor. I wait outside in the hallway. I take a moment to check my phone. I look at the group chat. It has been relatively silent today. I wonder what everyone is up to. While looking at my phone, I realize my hands still have some paint on them. I suppose while I'm here, I'll just use the loo to wash my hands. As I enter, I take a moment to look into one of the mirrors. My clothes are always such a mess. I spend some time thoroughly washing my hands. I can hear the sink in one of the stalls being turned off. As Chloe exits the stall and my eyes track her in the mirror as she places her hands into the ventilated hand dryer. After she walks in my direction and looks back at me through the mirror. She stands behind me and we take a moment to look into each other's eyes. Her expression shifts to bless me with a smile. She wraps her arms around me and places her chin on my right shoulder. This comes as a surprise. She hasn't shown this kind of affection towards me before. This is different. Wholesome even. Her hands are on my stomach and I can feel her chest on my back. We continue to stare at each other through the mirror. Also, I just realized my eyes are like just closed. Hang on. Hello? Hello? There we go. Wait. Wait a second. Hang on. Let me just adjust something. There we go. Is that better? Hang on. Camera. Oh, my camera got retilted. There we go. Now it's actually pointed at my face. And it kind of helped. There we go. It's good enough. It's good enough. We continue to stare at one another through the mirror. I place my hands on her upper arms to return her affection. This scene I'm seeing in the mirror of us holding one another looks so intimate. We look like lovers. Here we are, looking into each other's eyes, holding one another. And I'm utterly besotted with her. Besotted? What a fancy thing to say. What does that mean? Besotted. Strongly infatuated, intoxicated, drunk. I've never heard that word before. Suddenly, a more serious expression comes to her face. She lifts her hands to place them on my shoulders and turns me to face her. Our faces are close, no more mirror mediating our gaze. We continue to look into each other's eyes. The environment is silent other than the soft hum of the building. I can smell Chloe's scent. I can feel her firm grip on my shoulders. Her eyes finally leave mine to look at my lips. I know what this means. I know what she wants, and I want it too. This feels so right. Almost perfect, even. I move my face a little closer to hers and close my eyes. I can feel her grip on my shoulders get a little tighter before I feel her lips on mine. Kissing her feels so warm. Her hands slide down my arms, gripping me again. I can feel her tongue just briefly enter my mouth. Sorry, I was a little thirsty there. I needed a drink. I put my hands on her hips as we continue to kiss. I hear her moan softly, and the vibration of her voice makes me want her more. I slide my hands slowly up from her hips to her waist. Her tongue slips into my mouth again. As we kiss, I grasp... Oh, I'm so sorry. Hello, Mike. I didn't mean to bump you again. I grasp her tongue with my lips, and in a gentle, brief moment, I suck on her tongue. She moans again, and I feel her body momentarily tremble between my hands. In that moment, I grab her waist more firmly and pull her fully against me. Her grip on me also tightens, and the fierceness of our kisses intensify. For several minutes, we continue to passionately make out, enjoying each other's tastes. Eventually, our lips uncouple from one another, and as we separate, I open my eyes. She lets go and laughs softly. Whoa. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't either. I don't regret it, though. Neither do I. She places her hand behind her neck and avoids eye contact. I'm becoming familiar with this reaction of hers. She has a sweet smile on her face, not the kind of smile I see her carry often. Thanks. Huh? What for? Oh, I feel like I want to thank you for the kiss. I wonder if she feels like she was asking for a kiss when she looked at my lips, and that I may have simply obliged. As though the kiss was a gift I gave to her, and that she was now in debt to me. Well, you don't have to, because I wanted to. Okay. Oh, okay. Chloe's face is redder than a rose. Her blush stretches from ear to ear. I giggle a little, and a slight grimace appears across Chloe's face. What? You're so red right now. She instantly gets embarrassed and shoos me away. Whatever. You're blushing too. I know. I start to walk towards the laboratory door. Once I reach it, I turn my head to look towards her. Chloe continues to stand there with her arms crossed. She smiles and tilts her head slightly. I turn her smile and step out to wait for her in the hallway. Nevertheless, I reflect on how grateful I am that the serendipity of seeing her across campus ended up bringing me this amazing, joyful moment. Today, Ray and I are going to the cafe where Allie will be joining us. I've been wanting to invite Ray to hang out with our group since she and Mina decided to be friends. Once we arrive, I place my order as Ray looks around the space for the first time. This place is cute. Ray then places her order as well. I wait patiently as she takes a few minutes to look over her options. This place is so vintage. Actual people making our drinks? That's wild. It almost feels wrong. They're volunteers. Wait. Oh. I understand it now. It's trying to say that they are volunteers, not their volunteers. Ray, they aren't wage slaves. But I agree. It's part of the cafe's charm. I always enjoy the atmosphere here. While we wait for our drinks, Ray continues to look around the cafe. She spends several minutes watching the Lumidos at the back of the cafe, where circulating infographics briefly recount the history of coffee and tea. I'm a little surprised she's interested in that sort of stuff. The music is also chill. I can tell this is going to be one of my new favorite places. I'm glad to hear that. I'm happy to finally bring Ray here. It'll be nice to see her here. Nice to see her here regularly with the rest of us. Oh, I should add you to the group chat. Usually when one of us plans to come to the cafe, we let everyone else know. Oh, okay, sure. I pull out my phone and send Ray an invite to the chat. Catlinburg Friends. Ray Becker has been added to Catlinburg Friends. Hey everyone, welcome Ray. When's Chloe going to be added to the chat? Oh my gosh, that's what I'm waiting for now. Hey everyone, welcome Ray to the chat. Yes, I'm excited. Welcome Ray. Welcome Ray, I'm glad you've joined the group. Thanks, you too. Just so you know, Rio and Ali aren't usually as responsive. I'm sure they'll send their greetings eventually. No worries, I'm honestly surprised Aspen and Mina responded so quickly. Jen and Ray? I'll get them. At the counter, the barista slowly hands me our topped-off drinks. Luckily, I managed not to spill them on my way back to the table. Thanks for grabbing the drinks. No problem, here you go. So can you believe Coach Burrell has us watching that much of the footage from the recent Cologne games? Wait. Hang on. Hey, hold. Hold, please. There's no... Oh, it's a city in Germany. Okay. I was like, it has to be something. It can't be the actual, like, it can't be Cologne. That would be awful. That would be the worst thing. Let's name our team after Cologne. Oh, we'll be the Perfumes. Oh my gosh, look at us go. Oh. XD. I mean, yeah, it's good to get familiar with their playstyle, but we've never had to review that much content before. Not to mention the shifting metagame. Teams are including more strikers than in previous years. We've been doing great so far, we just gotta keep it up. I guess we'll find out when we finally play Cologne. Yup. The cafe bell jingles. I look towards the cafe door and see that Ali has arrived. I wave towards her as she comes in. She places an order before joining us at the table. Yo! Hey, Ali. Ali nods at Ray. I guess this is as good a time as any to introduce them to one another. Ali, this is Ray. Ray, Ali. It's a pleasure to meet you, Ray. Likewise. Ray joined the football team the same time I did. We played a big role in improving the quality of the team. Hell yeah, we have. Ray and I fist bump one another. Ali is an ergonomist and also a member of the Cosmothasian clergy. Oh, wow. Well, I'm not officially a member of the clergy. My parents are members, and I plan on being a member when the time comes. Also, I'm not an agronomist. I always struggle to pronounce that word. Agronomist yet. I still have years of schooling to complete. That's still cool. Agriculture is an important work. Agreed. How about you? I'm getting my degree in MHC. I'm not gonna lie, I thought that was gonna be like MHA, and I was like, why are we talking about shonen manga all of a sudden? What the freak? Boop, 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 boop. MHC is a common initialism for mental health care. Oh, that makes so much more sense than what I was thinking. That's so much more understandable. I hope to be a counselor. Also important work. I'd like to think so. There's a moment of quiet. Alia's not a talkative person, so I try to think of things to say to fill the silence. However, the moment I come up with a topic, Ali starts to speak. So, Ray, are you from Catlinburg? No, I'm not. I've bounced around several places for many years. Growing up as an orphan within the very flawed state orphanage system can be hectic, to say the least. Once I become emancipated, I moved here to go to Silversire. Oh, so you live on your own? I do, yes. I like Silversire, and I've managed to find plenty of things other than football to occupy my time. It's great to learn more about Ray. I knew she grew up as an orphan, but I haven't heard these details. Are you from here? Yes, I was raised in Catlinburg. My family has been living at the temple for over a century. Whoa, what made you want to be an agronomist? It's common for Cosmothasian temples to have farms or gardens. If you're unfamiliar, Cosmothasian tradition is partially influenced by orthodox Epicurean philosophy. Epicurus highly valued a simple life of self-subsistence. So I grew up around a garden and I really enjoyed working in it with my parents. I still do. Nice, sounds like fun. I used to volunteer with Rio. Allie would always instruct us on what to do while we were there. Both of you definitely needed it. I guess we did. Rio couldn't join us today? Nah, she's prepping for the art exhibit. Oh, that's cool. I don't know many artists who pursue art beyond a casual hobby. Are you going to Aspen's autumn party, Ray? In the new age, it is common for people in Europe to celebrate the transition into each new season. Oh, that's cool. Oh, shit, I meant to ask you, Ray. Aspen asked me to invite you. Oh, well, I figured I'd go to some autumn party at the dorms, but I can come to Aspen's party instead. No pressure at all if you'd rather go to another party. No, it's okay. I'd actually rather go to Aspen's. Great, I'll tell her. Will you be there, Allie? I will not. No, I miss almost every seasonal party because I do ceremonial work at the temple those nights. You will be missed, as you always are. You're the only one that won't be there. I know. I wish I could be there. Don't worry. No one will hold it against you. I'm glad to hear that. So, Ray, are you ardently available? Whoa. That came out of left field. I love how casually Allie asked that, and it just completely just stumped Ray right there. This will be good. Ray isn't used to Allie's candid curiosity. I wonder how she's going to react. Oh, I am? What's wrong, Ray? Why are you so nervous? What do you mean, why? Why wouldn't I be? Jen, quit messing with her. I'm sorry. Sorry, Ray. I sometimes forget my forthrightness can be a bit jarring. Since I won't be at the party, I figured I'd learn more about you now. But please, don't misunderstand me. I'm Nanomorous. I'm not personally interested. No offense, of course. I'm just curious. No, none taken. No worries. And that's interesting. I've never met someone who is a Nanomorous before. If I may ask, does that relate to the Cosmothasian thing? Sorry, I don't know much about it. No, it's okay, but no, it doesn't relate. I just have no interest in having a partner. Despite Allie being Nanomorous, she often seems excited to learn about our ardent lives. It's a shame you won't be able to make it to the party, but I'm glad you got to meet Ray beforehand. Same. I'm sure we'll see much more of each other. I hope so. I'm excited to get to know you all better. I'm really happy that Ray is joining our little group of friends, and I'm eager for the autumn party. The next day. Well, here I am again. Leaving the flat because my mom is being a shithead. I didn't even ask her for breakfast, and the first thing she says to me when I walk out of my bedroom is to get your own breakfast. What the hell? Then she complains I was using the loo too long because I was in there for 3 damn minutes. And when I get out, she just sat there and didn't move. She didn't even need to use it. I cannot wait to apply for state housing once I'm out of the academy. Just 3 more years. 3 more long-ass years. I decided to walk to Aspen's place since she's only a few blocks away. I wonder how her time with Mina went. I never heard back from her. I eventually get to Aspen's place. I know she's an early bird, so I'm sure she's been up for a little while. I activate the doorbell, and a few seconds later, Aspen comes to greet me. Hey, Jen, what are you doing here? Is everything okay? Mom was being a little shit first thing this morning. I needed to get out of the flat. You want to grab breakfast? Oh, sure. Let me get ready, and I'll be down in a moment. Aspen takes some time getting ready while I try to enjoy the morning weather. Meandering around the street in front of her house, I lift my head to allow the morning sun to strike my face. The warmth feels calming. It's been getting a little cooler as we get closer to autumn. Alright, let's go. Aspen closes the door behind her. It doesn't take long for Aspen to ask for more details. So, what happened? Let's talk about it when we get to the cafe, if you don't mind. Yeah, sure, no problem. I don't mean to sound like a jerk, but I'm sure Aspen doesn't take it personally. I want to use this walk to cool down and center myself before explaining. Once we get at the cafe, we both order breakfast and take our seats. I'm actually pretty hungry. It's been a while since I got breakfast at the cafe. We don't usually come here to eat. Though that isn't to say the food is bad or anything. So, did you two fight? No, we didn't. I decided seasons ago to not spend any energy arguing with her if I don't have to. When she is around, she always finds something to complain about. She just wants to irritate me. She does a good job of it. What did she complain about this time? I take a moment to describe the little things she did this morning that pissed me off about breakfast. Oh, that's why I confused me, because the about isn't capitalized. Okay. About breakfast and the lav. All of that is so unnecessary. I don't understand why she feels the need to be that way to you. He got it. Let's go. Well, I think she just doesn't want me to be around. She'll say whatever she needs to get me to go away. But it wasn't always like that, right? It seems like she used to argue with you about stuff all the time, like your marks. True, but things have changed, and I'm not entirely sure why. Before, she was always wanting to control me. She wanted me to be a mini version of herself. But I think she started to give up on me. When I say, oh, that was so sad. But when I say that, I feel something twist inside of me. I can't help but feel distraught hearing those words come out of my mouth, regardless of the constant reminder of her callousness. I feel heartbroken. But as I often do, I manage to push those feelings down. That's right, girl. Repress those feelings. You don't need them, right? Don't confront them now, don't confront them later. Lock them away. For now, hopefully she has come to her senses and realizes that I'm allowed to want a life different from her own. A life that makes me happy and not one where I'm forced to follow in her footsteps. OMG, repress. Repress it, queen. Oh my MG. A life that makes me happy and not one where I'm forced to follow in her footsteps. I look at Aspen and see her concerned eyes stare back at me. I'm sorry, Jen. It's okay. When it comes to parents, some of us are just dealt a bad hand. Aspen simply nods and looks down at the table. I know she doesn't have a great relationship with her parents either, just in a different way. I wasn't dealt a good hand either, I suppose. I know they are good people, but I know Aspen. Aspen parents are radically hands-off. I feel like part of our early bonding as friends was commiseration over our parents. Yeah, we'd often come out here to complain about them. I think that is one of the many reasons I feel attached to this place. It has come to mean a lot to me. Same. This place and the playground are the places I can run to when shit gets hectic. Thanks for letting me rant. Just talking about it helps. Of course, Jen. We are here for each other. We continue to wait for our food. Compared to location with our more automation, the cafe has never been quick at completing orders. What about you? How did your time with Mina go? Tell me everything. Well, it started out smoothly. I followed the plan that I came up with all by myself. Of course. Yes, naturally. We walked around Old Town, got food, went to the park, and then I told her that I'm in love with her. And how did she take it? Well, I'm not sure. She was really taken aback by my confession. She needed to process everything. We went straight back to her place after I told her. She said she'd call me in a couple days. That was 2 days ago, so I guess she'll call me today. Do you think I should have waited longer to tell her? Is it still too soon after Ian? Ellipses. It's hard to say, but I think you didn't say anything too early. You haven't broken any rules. I think it's been an adequate amount of time. Besides, Mina told us that her summer was hell, and it was what she needed to properly grieve. She's ready to move on, and those are her words, not mine. I asked Aspen for more details about how it all went. That was a terrible way to read all that. I asked Aspen for more details about how it all went, from the beginning when Rio set the study session up to when she confessed. Every little detail she provides me paints a clearer picture of what happened, and I think I have a better idea of the situation. Oh no, I just realized we never got to hear Mina's guess at who it was. Ah, I'm sure that'll come back up. Crossing my fingers, crossing my fingers. Eventually, our names are called and we grab our food. Even after all these years of coming here, it's still weird not having bots deliver our food to us. Boiled eggs, wheat toast, cultured ham, and berries. An ideal breakfast. After we finish, we clean up after ourselves and return the used plates and cutlery to the bins for cleaning. We decided to take a slightly longer, more scenic route back to Aspen's house so we can talk some more and enjoy the weather. When we are roughly half a kilometer away from Aspen's house, her phone rings. Her eyes widen and she looks at me. She reaches into her pocket. She turns on the display and it shows a picture of Mina. She nervously answers. Hello? I can't quite hear what Mina says, but I wait patiently. Yeah, of course. When would you like me to come over? I wonder what Mina's response to Aspen's confession will be. Would it be okay if I left the house in about 15 minutes to head that way? Okay, I'll see you soon. Aspen disconnects the call. I can see her hands shaking slightly. How do you feel? Very nervous, but I have to go, I'm sorry. Hey, don't worry about me. You have my support. I hope everything goes well, and if you're willing to, update me when you have the time. Will do, thank you. We hug goodbye and she sets off towards her house. I look around the neighborhood now that I'm on my own. I'm not ready to go home just yet, so I decide to walk around for just a bit longer. Hopefully by the time I get home, my mom is gone. I frantically think about how to prepare myself. However, all I can think is, are you wearing that perfume she got you for your birthday last year? How does your breath smell? Is your hair put together? Ugh. I take a deep breath to calm down. I know, I'll be fine. You can do this, Aspen. I quickly finish getting ready and head to the bus stop. When I arrive at Mina's house, I walk up to her front door. My breath is a little heavy. I hadn't realized, but I was speed walking the whole way here from the bus stop. I raise my hand to activate the doorbell, but before my hand reaches the sensor, the door opens and Mina stands in front of me. She's wearing her... She looks so cute in this outfit, just like with the how casual it all is, the glasses, how she looks. It's very cute. She's wearing her pajamas and she has her contacts out and glasses on. Hello. She greets me with a warm smile. Hello, Mina. Mina invites me in and leads me up to her bedroom. She has teacups ready. It seems like she prepared for my arrival. She encourages me to sit on her bed. I oblige, take a seat, and take a sip from my cup of tea. Mina's back faces me as she looks out the window in her room. I quietly wait for her to say something. Anything. There have been moments in the past when I've looked at you and thought, she's really cute. Oh, wow. What a way to start this conversation. I feel a blush edging up my face before clasping my hands behind my back. I'm flattered. It is interesting to think about us in another way. I have, since I've known you, always characterized our relationship as a great friendship. But when you told me your feelings, when you said I love you, oh no. Oh no. I feel like it's going poorly. I feel like it's going to go poorly. I didn't know what to say. When I got home that day and into the next day, I thought about you. I thought about us and those moments where I thought you looked cute came back to me. It was like I was remembering moments before it was like I was remembering moments where I wasn't just thinking of you as a friend, but a cute friend, which maybe sounds silly said that way. But those were the small moments I had where I was really feeling something else. I felt an attraction to you, but I overlooked those moments at the time. She was trying to say she feels attracted to me? Is she trying to say that she's... Hang on, let me just go back. Let me reread that. Is she trying to say she feels attracted to me? I have a question for you. Yeah, sure, what is it? When you imagine us, when you think about an ideal future where we are together, what do you think about? What does that look like to you? I wasn't expecting anything like this, which makes me nervous. I'm confused at first, and it takes me a second to realize what she is asking. Honestly, I just don't want to lose our relationship. It's all I could think to say at the moment. It wasn't a good response, and she agrees. I appreciate that, Aspen. But that's not what I'm asking. I mean, is the ideal outcome for us in your eyes? I mean, what is the ideal outcome for us in your eyes? What is it you hope for? This time I force myself to put more effort into the question. However, all I can think about is her. I want a relationship to be what you think is best. I just want you to be happy. Yeah, I'd also be getting frustrated at that answer too, a little bit. I could feel a little frustration in her voice, though she still keeps her tone soft. No, Aspen, that's not what I'm getting at. In this hypothetical scenario, I want to know what you want. Mina gets closer to me and sits down, looking into my eyes. Ignore what you think I want. What does your ideal world for you and me together look like for you and me together? I hesitate. I'm worried that I'll imagine her in a way that doesn't accurately reflect her feelings. But that's not what she's asking for. I'm worried about saying something that is impossible for her to fulfill. I can already tell I'm upsetting her. I'm getting on her nerves. Mina moves closer with a troubled expression. She gently takes my hands into her own. I close my eyes and imagine what my ideal world would look like. You and I are partners. I can immediately feel a lump in my throat as I think and speak. I'm so scared. We spend time with one another. I get to see your smiling face more often. I get to take you out and treat you like my partner. I start to tear up and I have a hard time hiding it. My voice shakes. I take a breath and maintain enough composure to continue. When something exciting happens in my life, you'd be the first person I want to tell. When I wake up in the morning, you're the first person I think about. We hold hands, we kiss, we cuddle, and I get to say I love you. And you say I love you too. It becomes harder to prevent myself from crying. I feel embarrassed and hide my face with my hands. I don't hear anything from Mina when I look up. When I look up, I see her eyes closed and her head tilted down. Then she begins to smile. I feel happy. I try to picture it for myself. At first, I'm confused. I'm not sure exactly what she means. You know, in Tales from the Clear Waters, Darien asks Jewel what her ideal partnership with him would look like. She takes the time to think and imagines them together, whispering I love you to each other, kissing by the lake and holding each other in the dark. As Jewel is explaining her ideal partnership with Darien, he tries to imagine the world she paints with her words. He takes on that role of this person she imagines him to be. After he envisions that world, he feels happy and warm. He says he could truly imagine himself in Jewel's story as the man she envisioned. Is she saying what I think she's saying? So when I look back at those moments when I thought you looked cute, I still wasn't sure if I could see you as anything other than a great friend. But is this really happening? But I can see myself in the way you imagine. What I'm trying to say is when you say in your ideal world we are partners and we spend time with each other and we hold hands and embrace one another and tell each other that we love one another, I can imagine myself in that world with you. And I think that's a good start. She looks at me with her own teary pair of eyes, and I smile back at her. I stand up as does she. I approach Mina and get closer. I approach Mina and get a closer look at her smiling face. I then wrap my arms around her, and then she wraps hers around me. We embrace one another in a way we never have before. This joy that I'm feeling at this moment is something I never want us to forget. As we hold on to one another, I feel her hair on my cheek and the warmth of her body. I never want to let go of her. But I'm not so lucky. After we pull away and look at one another, we laugh at how we both turned into teary-eyed wrecks. I feel like this is the perfect opportunity to just ask her, so I do. Mina, will you be my partner? She wipes her eyes with her sleeves, and with a sweet smile she replies, yes, but I want us to take things slow. I want you to know that I don't know how I'm going to feel. I know the way I'm feeling now, and I want to give this a shot, but I don't know how I feel in the long term, so please be patient with me. Of course, anything for you, Mina. This is a dream come true. I can't believe Mina is my partner. I give her another hug. We embrace each other for a bit longer. I slowly move my hands up and down her back, pressing her body closer to mine. When we part from one another again, I see a wet spot on her shoulder, and I wipe my eyes dry. When you told me how you felt, I was in shock. Before that, I really thought about who it could be, you know? Jen came to mind, of course, since you two are so close. Oh, we're getting the answer. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, part of me was scared that the story was just not gonna come back to it, and I was gonna be so disappointed. The possibility that it was me only crossed my mind. The possibility that it was me only crossed my mind because I know I'm in your social circle, but I didn't put much thought into it. Honestly, I'm not sure why it never occurred to me. The moments we've shared with one another have been sweet, and it started to make more sense to me the more I thought about them. Even when it comes to Jen's football game, being there and sharing that moment with you, I'm glad I got to be vulnerable with you. And now, here we are. It's a little surreal, but not in a bad way, of course. I'm happy to start this journey with you, Aspen. Mina's words warm my heart. It brings me so much happiness to know how she truly feels. It wasn't long after I met you that I fell in love with you. I decided to hide it because I never felt like because it never felt like the right time to tell you. I'm obviously happy that the opportunity to tell you finally came, and I can't help but wonder what would have happened if I told you earlier. But at this point, that's neither here nor there. I'm happy to start this journey with you too. I promise I'll be sure to take things slow. Thank you for understanding, Aspen. I appreciate you. We spend a moment leaning on one another. I rest my hands on hers and appreciate her warmth. I can't believe it. I'm partners with Mina. Oh, that was sweet. That was sweet. I really like that. Oh!
There are no fools here. These stories approach a threshold. A hesitant exploration of passion. Women loving and lusting.
Nice. Nice. It's entirely because I'm just used to, like, the idea of, like, you know, like, the 3-act structure and everything, that when the stuff started for, like, the act transition, I was like, there's no way that's the end, right? Come on. That would have been such an abrupt ending. Like, it's like, it comes, like, right after, like, 2 of the characters, you know, like, oh, we're gonna be, in a partnership together. Like, oh my gosh, like, let's do this. And then it just cuts off there. It just cuts to credits. That would have been so disappointing. XD, no worries, are 5 acts. Okay. Because, again, I was so scared that was the ending, because I was like, none of it, like, there are so many, like, little things going on, like, so many relationships building, that's like, this can't be where the story ends. Get out of here with that. That would have been terrible. So I'm glad it's going. I'm still glad we have 2 more acts left to go through. That's awesome. That's awesome. But, you know, I really like that scene ended with Mina saying I appreciate you instead of I love you, because that's like the way that I was feeling that scene going was like, if she says I love you, like, in that way in terms of the partnership, after, like, just saying, like, hey, like, let's take things slow, like, I don't know how I'm gonna feel in the long term, so, like, we just gotta try this out and see how I feel. I would have been so like, no, don't say that yet, don't say that, you just said take things slow. So I really like that. I'm just happy that, like, because, like, it's just been, like, that's been, like, the main thing building up since, like, the beginning of the story is, like, them having that talk, even if it didn't end with them getting together or anything like that, like, just them having, like, that talk of, like, Aspen finally confessing her feelings, them talking about, like, that's been, like, the main thing that's been building since, like, the first scene or something. Like, I think it's been, like, that since that early, the very first scene, if not, like, one of the first scenes, essentially. So it feels so satisfying that part's, like, paid off now, because I'm not gonna lie, when it was like, hey, like, let's take, like, a few days off or a couple days off, I was like, oh no, are we gonna go into, like, a huge long stint of, like, them just not, like, following through on this or anything? Like, are the next few days about to be the longest part of the entire visual novel? I'm so happy it wasn't. I'm so happy that we got that conversation done and handled. And again, just people putting up their boundaries and being respectful and, like, coming to an understanding about how they feel about each other and, like, how they want to, like, proceed. I'm like, oh, let's go. So it felt really good to see. It was nice. It was very nice. But I think we're probably gonna end it there for today. I know it's a little bit shorter than we usually go. We usually go for, like, you know, 3 hours. This is just a little bit under 2, but I still got a lot of stuff I gotta take care of before I can actually, like, get started into the upcoming week. Just mostly a lot of chores that need to get taken care of, that kind of thing. So, yeah, I think that, and besides, we ended an act, and I think that that's a great place to end for today. So let's just go ahead and save. Thanks for playing. Thanks for watching and being here and going through it with me. It's always so much fun to get to play this with you, Social. So I'm really enjoying it. So thank you all so much for being here. This upcoming week, I'm still trying to figure out the schedule, just because there are some things that needed to be sorted out. So some things might get changed. If anything needs getting changed, it's probably going to be Undertale, solely for the reason... Okay, I was gonna joke and say solely for the reason that I don't want to get, like, my face caved in by Sans for another 2.5 hours. But we'll see. It might be Undertale that gets moved, but I'll let everyone know with a schedule that and I'm gonna try and make sure it gets posted onto the Twitch stories and on the YouTube side and on all the everything. So we'll see. So, yeah. We'll see how the schedule goes, but I'm very excited for the week nonetheless. So I will see all you beautiful people Just know that Sunday is guaranteed for this. Wednesday is guaranteed for twofold. So we're always gonna have those two things. It's just the rest of the week that's gonna get moved around. So yeah. With all that being said, thank you again so much for everyone who came out tonight, and I hope everyone has a great rest of the day. I'll see all you beautiful people in the next one. Bye-bye!